Hello, and welcome to the fourth week of your Grow Groups in our series, Upside Down. We've been looking at Luke chapter 6 and Jesus' Sermon on the Plain that flipped the teachings of the world upside down and changed the way people interacted with culture. This week, we're talking about what it means to be excluded, which is a difficult but also maybe fun topic. We'll see. And so I'm joined by Mandy, who is a part of our children's ministry team. Mandy, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
So far, so good.
Good.
Yeah. I'm loving the pink.
Yeah.
Yes, the whole February vibe. It's my birthday month. That was my favorite color as a kid. It was the pinks and the purples.
Yes. It's my daughter's birthday month too.
Is it really?
She's a Valentine baby.
Oh, that's so cute. It was this week actually.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Nice.
So we're going to spend this whole time talking about my childhood.
Perfect.
Yes, making sure I don't feel excluded.
Okay. Got our work cut out for us.
Working through some issues. It's going to be really great. Mandy, I'm so glad you're here. So you work with kids. Mm-hmm. So this is a really fun question. What was your favorite game to play as a child?
Well, I have a couple. When I was little, my favorite game was just to play freeze tag. It's simple, easy, simple rules. Just run around outside and get out all your energy. I think my parents enjoyed it too because it got us out of the house and wore us out a little bit. So Absolutely. Yeah, I loved that. And then when I got older, like youth group age, I really loved to play sardines. And if you haven't played it, one person hides and everybody else tries to find them. And when you find them, you hide with them. And so the last person to find the group is it for the next round. And we played that a lot.
Yeah. I loved sardines. So growing up here at Platte Woods, this building is just a maze and always has been. So sardines was so much fun. We even took it to college. We would hide in academic buildings at night.
Nice.
We never saw a ghost though. It was a two-part thing. We're going to play sardines and look for ghosts. We only played sardines.
Yes, only one part of that.
Yes. But yeah, I think kickball was my favorite as a kid.
Yeah?
We lived on a really quiet street. There's only houses on one side. We were basically the cul-de-sac, so we could just play in the middle of the road and kick a ball and run.
Perfect. I was always not that well coordinated, so kicking the ball was a little challenging sometimes. So
that's my one sport. Years of kicking this ball, I've got catching it. Well. Yeah, I'll pitch. It's fine. That's amazing. So as we're talking about this conversation of being excluded and being left out, I think that's something we've all experienced at some point. So will you share a time that you have felt left out or excluded?
Yeah, when I was thinking about that, I think anytime that I've moved or been the new person somewhere. So in elementary school, we moved to a new school district, a new neighborhood, new school. That was, really hard because everyone has their friendships already made and so familiar with the building and the teachers. So that, definitely you feel like you're on the outside working your way in. And I'm very introverted, so it's not easy for me to push my way into a group. So it takes me a long time. And then just as an adult too, anytime we've moved several times, started at new churches, started in new communities, new jobs, anytime you're the one on the outside of the existing relationships, it's really, you feel excluded. It's not intentional, but you just feel like that. You're on the outside. You don't understand all the jokes and the culture and everything of the area. So
yeah, it's so hard, and especially in a new geographical town and stuff. You're I don't even know how to get places. It's so rough.
Yeah, and before you could just plug in an address to your phone, you had to try and figure out where you were going. You'd get lost. So
yeah, and then you're late, and then you're becoming that person. It's a whole all the anxieties are coming.
Oh yeah, it is stressful.
It's so stressful. I was cracking up as I wrote this question because there's a story. There's always a whole story that has become a trope in my household. Okay. We don't talk about it anymore, or we do when we laugh. But our family friends, so my sister's 4 years older than I am, and we had family friends. Her best friend was her age, and then her little sister was 2 years younger, and then I'm 2 years younger than that. So I was the baby. And we all had Furbies at that time. And so we had a Furby club, as one does. It was in this one, I can picture it, was in this one closet, and we had a sign, it was the whole thing, until my batteries died. And they kicked me out.
They didn't just let you get new batteries?
No. Well, and I was too young for the logic of like, Mom, I need batteries. I was like, just let me in. And oh my gosh, foundational.
Wow.
Yeah, I was probably like 4. So that's why it was so traumatic. Like that was making it in life, was being in the Furby club.
Ooh.
Yeah, but it hurts so bad when you're like intentionally pushed away from things too. And it's just such a real experience.
Oh, yeah.
That clearly can scar you for a lifetime.
Definitely. Those Furbies.
They were just terrifying. I should have been so happy that the batteries died.
But then you couldn't be part of the group.
I know. Oh, man. Life is so hard. Thank goodness Jesus talked about this, right? So then I'm curious, how has your experience of being on the outside shaped your faith and the way that you treat others?
Well, I think it's definitely given me more empathy for people who seem to be on the outside of things. I'd love to say always, but I know I miss it too. I don't see it as often as I should. But when I notice somebody on the outside, I definitely can put myself in their shoes. I understand what that's like to be the new person or the person who feels on the outside of the jokes or the conversations. So more awareness and more empathy. And I think as far as my faith, it's just even when I felt on the outside, God has reminded me that I'm not alone, that, I still have him with me and he'll be faithful and he's not going to leave me. So just that reassurance that I'm never actually alone. So
Absolutely. Yeah, I think, Jesus hung out with the sinners and the outsiders and Zacchaeus in a tree. And so Jesus makes me feel seen a lot in that way. I will say, though, you really live that out. You're really good about that, because there was even a whole incident like right before Christmas that I spilled one of our oil candles everywhere. And you were so quick to be like, you're not alone. That's okay. We've all done that.
Oh, those oil candles are tricky.
Yes. Because I felt really outside in that moment. Like, what clumsy person is doing this?
Oh,
and you were so quick to be like, we've all done it. Here's the inside joke for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, that really meant a lot to me in that moment. Like, thanks for bringing me in the fold in that way.
You bet.
Yeah, living it out. Yeah, I think that's exactly what Jesus would have done. Just stepping forward and being like, hey, I see you. Everything's good. And here's how we've all done it before. And just really reaching out in those really cool ways.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for sharing those experiences.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure you do a great job corralling the kids and making sure they all feel included in different ways. That's a whole balance.
Yeah. That's our goal. They're all so special and they're also gifted in different ways, and we want them to all know that they have purpose, they have meaning, and they're valued. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. Well, hear that this week in your groups. You have purpose and you have meaning and you have value, even when it feels like we're on the outside. And to know that Jesus is in those margins with us. And that's why Jesus talked about it here. Hey, I'm with you and things are good. And that's an okay place to be. So we're praying for your groups this week and your conversations. And have a blessed week. Take care.